Already had this entirely done one time and the low battery cut me off in the middle, so here we go again. Donald Trump is our newest president, and he will truly be one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. He's the best thing for our country, and he will truly make America great again as he has promised. He first expressed interest in running for president as early as 1987, and even entered the 2000 election as a Reform Party candidate, but then later pulled out. It was not until June 2015 that Mr. Trump formally announced his entrance to the recent White House race. We need somebody that will literally take this country and make it great again. We can do that, he said in his announcement speech, promising that as a candidate with no need to fundraise, he would have no loyalty to special interests and he was the perfect outsider candidate. His candidacy for the Republican nomination in 2016 was initially seen something as a long shot, but the New York businessman's outsider status, his mastery of the media, no-holds-barred campaign style propelled him to the front of the field. He insisted that Washington was broken and can only be fixed by an outsider. Washington-based conservatives were surprised by the popular support for his position. Ladbrokes, a popular betting website, offered 150-1 odds of Trump winning the presidency. But he consistently told his army of supporters that he would defy the opinion polls, which all had him trailing Hillary, and the presidency would strike a blow against the political establishment. Here are 20 of the main reasons President Trump will succeed greatly. Number 1, he's draining the swamp just as he promised. Trump's picks for all his positions were not biased. They weren't based on money spent, lobbyists, or special interests, and they were actually who was best for the job, and they will be in the future who is best for the job, and not whether you're a career politician or not. Number 2, he's cutting taxes. He supports and is already working on cutting taxes at all levels. His tax proposals include cuts at all income levels, an end to the estate tax, and a tax deduction for child care expenses. Number 3, he's bringing jobs to the United States. He promoted what is called an America First approach to the use of American-made products. He has called international trade deals like NAFTA and TPP a disaster and pushed for increased tariffs on imports. Number 3, he will toughen immigration laws. Trump called for the deportation of all undocumented immigrants living in the U.S., about 11 million people. Number 4, he got rid of Obamacare. Trump is repealing the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, and proposed his own health care reform plan, keeping some of the good things, but creating market competition and lower cost. Number 5, he has high standards. Trump gets it. He believes in American exceptionalism. He's committed to education, and he demands high performance. After all, he has been known to fire anyone that doesn't meet his high standards. Talk about efficiency. Number 6, he's going to build a wall. Trump is planning on building a great wall on our southern border between the U.S. and Mexico. The best part, he's planning on Mexico pay for the wall. Number 7, he'll be tough on ISIS. No one will be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump. He pushed a more aggressive foreign policy in the fight against the Islamic State and in the war on terror, and increases in military spending. He called for the ban on Muslims entering the country from nations with a history of exporting terrorism, and has advocated for what he calls extreme vetting of Muslims visiting the U.S. Trump also called for improving U.S. relations with Russia by finding a common ground by using the fight against the Islamic State. Number 8, he can't be bought. Trump has a confidence and a self-assured, powerful personality that is perfectly suited for politics. Unlike any other positions who tend to be swayed by lobbyists and special interests, Trump has his own interests and is unlikely to give that power to anyone but himself. Number 9, he knows exactly how to build an empire. He's extremely rich, obviously, and his track record for financial success proves that he knows how to build a successful empire. With the U.S. trillions of dollars in debt, he's the sort of leader that might be able to turn it all around. Number 9, he's American first. Trump's loyalty will only be to America and Americans, not any political party, special interest group, or foreign entity. Number 10, he has his priorities straight. He has emphasized beliefs in free enterprise and a strong military. He repeatedly highlights his acumen for success, his ability to get things done, and his understanding of finances. Number 11, he literally wrote the book on making deals. He is undeniably a great negotiator, and despite his outrageous public statements in the past, he knows how to navigate complex deals and convince a wide variety of industries. Sorry, I forgot the next part. Businesses and investors to do what he wants and to work with him and achieve his goals. Number 12, he will bring races together, bring all people together. He loves all races. Maybe not illegal immigrants, as he referenced them as criminals, drug dealers, and rapists, but I digress. As a president who respects all races, as technically illegal immigrants are not actually just one race, he will hopefully alleviate the recent tensions between police officials and the African American community. 13, he speaks the truth. He isn't politically correct, he isn't afraid to say what he thinks, and he certainly can voice an opinion. If he has an issue with you, he will say it to your face. It's nice to have a politician in office with that level of transparency. Number 14, he'll keep nuclear weapons out of the wrong hands. He said it himself. He will single-handedly stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons, as the previous president signed a deal to allow. Number 15, he'll investigate Hillary. Donald Trump promised during a special presidential debate, should he win the election, he will instruct special prosecutor to look into Hillary Clinton's past and investigate the FBI investigation that concluded it will not press charges on Clinton. This is despite the fact that Hillary deleted 33,000 emails after receiving a subpoena from the United States government. Democrat or Republican, government corruption is something we should all be working against. And it will be great to see Trump start prosecuting politicians who have gotten rich from politics and broken the law on multiple occasions. Love Trump or hate him, he's going to lock the people up who deserve it anyways. Number 16, he'll impose term limits on members of Congress. It seems like the businessman is kind of going libertarian on us, and he has announced that he will impose term limits on members of Congress. This means people like Senator John McCain and others who have spent a lifetime working in politics and getting rich in the process will have to leave politics after a certain number of years and get a normal job like the rest of America. Number 17, he'll impose a hiring freeze on the federal workforce. He has beef with how the government just seems to be constantly expanding and employing more people, so instead of hiring new people to work in government offices, Trump is proposing that nobody is able to get a job in the federal workforce for at least the next 4 years. This, of course, will not include Army, Navy, Special Forces, and stuff of that nature, but it means the government offices won't spend half their time rubber stamping stuff, and they won't be getting any new members of staff anytime soon. 18, he'll save billions on the UN climate change programs. The United States currently pays the United Nations billions of dollars every year to assist with their climate change programs. If you're concerned about global warming, then this probably isn't a big issue to you. But if you're concerned about the fact that the United States now owes almost $20 trillion, and almost 10 of which have been added in the last 8 years under Obama, then this is definitely a policy for you. Number 19, he'll ban foreign lobbyists fundraising in U.S. elections. Hillary and Democrats are implying lately that Trump is involved with Putin, and Russia had an influence on the election. However, Trump seems to be the only candidate talking about how important it is that foreign governments and lobbyists don't have any power over U.S. elections. Hillary, for instance, has been taking millions from corrupt governments for years, and even raking in millions from Saudi Arabia, a country which doesn't even hold women in high regard at all. One of his newest policies is to ban foreign lobbyists from fundraising in the United States government, just as he promised, meaning that it will be only for American people and companies who will have a major influence on the result of the election. Last and not least, number 20, he'll ban White House officials lobbying for foreign governments. It's another policy based on Trump's fundamental mistrust of government officials. Another one of his drain the swamp policies is that he will ban all White House officials from lobbying for foreign governments, meaning it will be harder than ever to work with foreign governments and bend the rules to benefit them. Remember when Trump said that America comes first? This policy shows he really means it. And if a Democratic Party person was saying this, it would be just as important. Party politics aside, this policy will ensure the government officials are bound to work in the interest of the United States and not the rest of the world. Just as promised, I truly trust and believe that as president, Donald Trump will truly make America great again. Thanks.